Guys, I'm back. I know it's been a while, but it's like every single time I want to sit down and make videos, like every week something happens. And what had happened was that my mom ended up breaking my ring light, so I had no type of freaking light, and school started, and it's been a bad mixture. But I'm back today. It's another story time. Before we get into the whole situation, I do want to say, if you guys haven't yet subscribed, hi, my name is Jennifer and welcome to the fam. Guys, we've been growing, not a lot, but like, thank you guys for all the subscribers, to all my newbies. I love you guys. Let's get on to the story time. This story time, hence the title if you already read it, is about my first fight ever. Now guys, I've never gotten into a fight after that or before that. It was my first real like hands-on fight. When I look back on it, I'm just like, so many things could have been avoided. Like so many things could have been avoided. But of course, when you're in middle school and you're a child, obviously it's your first fight, you're amped up, you're like, yes, I'm gonna do it, I don't care. But now that I think about it, we could have done so many things to avoid the whole situation. But it happened, and I'm kind of glad it happened because I get to tell you guys. Okay, now this story takes place when I was in 7th grade, so I was like about 11, 12. I was 12. I had just turned 12. But little background story, the people that I have ended up fighting with, they were acquaintances. Like they were a year older than me, and so I had just met them. And to be honest, those people, those girls that I got into the altercation with, they were really like the popular girls. A lot of the people knew them in my school, and they were a grade older than me, so they were in 8th grade. And I thought they were so pretty. Like, this is crucial to the story, guys. Like, I thought they were really pretty. They were like the prettiest girls at that moment. Obviously now it would be like, what the hell were you wearing, girl? But they were really pretty. And so I remember like, oh my god, they're so cute, this and that. And so, you know, at that point MySpace was around, and I would always like look at their pictures. I'm like, oh my god, they're so pretty. And you know, normal kid stuff. And so a week before this current situation happened, it was my birthday, and my friend at the time, she was like, me and her were really close, you know. We been knowing each other since 6th grade, and so we were in 7th grade together. So she decided to throw me a birthday kind of party in her house. It wasn't like a massive party, but it was one of those parties where, you know, a lot of people came, you know, we danced or whatever. We're like, we're gonna do it at your house. And so it happened. Now those girls have recently become friends with my friend. Let me call this friend, what do I call her? What do I freaking, Melanie, whatever. Melanie had become friends with these girls from the 8th grade, so we were kind of like, hey, you know, I introduced myself and we were cool. So she's like, hey, I'm gonna invite these girls to your party. I was like, okay, bitch, you do your thing, it's your house, you can invite whoever you want, I don't care. The friends she knew, I knew, so I was like, okay, do your thing. And she ended up inviting them right next to me. She's like, I'm gonna invite them. I'm like, okay, cool, like, yes, girls are coming to my party, they're really cool. So that was it. My party comes, we end up having a great time. I had a boyfriend at the time, so my boyfriend was there. We were just chilling, we were dancing, and yeah, the night ended. That was it. Now, fast forward to maybe like a week later. I'm just, you know, chilling. I feel like I was going to lunch at the time, and I was with 2 of my other friends, and we were just walking to the cafeteria. So I'm walking to the cafeteria. Before I even forget, I had no Wi-Fi access at my house at the time. I forgot what had happened, but like, we were waiting on somebody to come and like give us the router or the modem, whatever, so we can get the Wi-Fi. But I had no Wi-Fi access, so I wasn't on MySpace, I wasn't on AIM. I remember I was walking, and I was with 2 friends, one on each side, and I'm just walking, and one of the girls from the party, she had come up to me, and I'm just thinking she's gonna be like, hey, you know, because at that point we would say hi to each other now, because, you know, I remember back in like middle school, when you knew somebody, you would say hi to them, to every single person you know, and give them a kiss on the cheek, especially the girls. So she had come up to me, and I thought she was gonna just say hi, and she looked pissed, and I remember being like, is she okay? And she blacked on me. She was just like, who do you think you are? Da 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 da. And I'm literally standing there like shocked, because I'm like, what is going on? Like, last time I checked, we were cool. Like, you were at my birthday party. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, what's going on? And I'm like, what? And I remember I responded back to her. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, oh, you think you're slick calling other people ugly on MySpace? And I'm just like, whoa. Like, at that point, I even forgot I didn't have Wi-Fi. So I'm just hearing her talk, and I was just kind of like, just still, because there was people around me, and I'm just like, what is going on? So I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, I did not comment on anybody's picture. She was like, yes, you did. Oh, and guys, by the way, the girl that came up to me wasn't even the girl that had commented on the picture. It was her friend that came up to me, and her friend, the girl that I actually that supposedly I commented on, was behind her just listening to her friend go off on me. So I'm just like, what? Like, I was really confused. I had no idea what she was talking about, and I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, don't act stupid. She basically just called me whatever the hell she wanted, and I was just shocked because I'm like, I didn't do anything. So she left. I remember we had the same lunch period, so she was, I guess, talking her shit, and then I was with my friends, and my friends around me didn't know what she was talking about either. So I'm like, she was like, did you really leave a comment saying she was ugly? I'm like, I know. And so I'm sitting down at lunch, and then one of my friends came up to me, and she was like, are you sure you don't know what you're talking about? And I'm like, no, like, I don't know. And she's like, well, you left a pretty nasty comment on one of the girls' pictures. And I'm like, what? No, I didn't. She shows me the comment, and I'm like, oh my god, I never left this comment. And I remember the comment being, I don't remember it word for word, but I remember the comment being along the lines like, you're such an ugly bitch. It was something like that. And in my head, I'm like, I would never call her that. Like, she's one of the prettiest girls in the school. Like, why would I even like step to that boundary? And I'm not that type of person. We had no type of beef. We're friends. Well, I thought we were. We're not friends, but acquaintances. Like, you just came to my party. Like, what do you mean? And so I remember I was just shocked the whole lunch period. And I remember telling my friend Melanie what had happened, and she was like, what? That's so weird. And she's like, are you sure you didn't do it by mistake? I'm like, no. Like, I would never leave a comment on that on nobody's picture, even if I don't like you, you know? I'm not one to start drama. And I was 11, 12 years old. Why would I start drama with an 8th grader that's like the most popular girl in the school? Like, it didn't make sense to me, for whatever. So that day goes on, and I remember my friend Melanie and I, that was a Friday, and she was like, I'm gonna come over. I'm like, okay, cool. So she comes over, and we're just chilling. We're like in my room, we're talking shit, and I get a phone call. And when I pick up the phone, I'm like, hey, she's like, a girl picks up, and she's like, are you talking shit? Like, are you for real now? Like, now you're gonna start talking shit about us? Like, and I was like, what are you talking about? But the type of person I am is that I can hold out shit for a while, but after a while, like, if you keep on instigating and you keep on pushing my buttons, I'm going to pop. Like, I am that type of person. I can handle so much until I just be like, you know what, it's done. So I started talking about, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I didn't do anything to you. I don't even have Wi-Fi access. And that's when I remembered the other day, I'm like, I don't even have Wi-Fi, so I can't even be on my phone in the house, you know? So I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was never on the phone. I was never on my MySpace. I have no Wi-Fi. She's like, you're a lying B. And I was like, why is she going so hard for a comment? And the crazy part is that it wasn't even the actual girl that I had commented on. It was the girl's best friend that was blacking on me this whole time. And I'm just like, why are you so worried? Like, I remember saying something like, why are you so worried? Like, it's not even your profile, it's your friend. She's like, oh, but she's like my sister. And you know, back then I remember us girls would be like going off for a girl. So I feel her, because I would have done the same for my best friend. But she was just so like ratchet at the moment that I couldn't deal with that type of person that she was. So I remember just being like, I went off on her, and Melanie went off on her, and we basically did what we shouldn't have done at all. Like this, I feel like if we would have never done this, the fight would have never happened to begin with because of what we did. I remember Melanie was like, if you want to fight, then, you know, we can fight. And she ended up giving her my address. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, what the fuck did we just do? But then, I remember, like, we did this stupid thing. We went to the deli, and like, you know, with the jalapeno like Cheetos were like the shit back then. I mean, they still are, they still pop. We went to the deli and we were just munching. I'm like, yes, we're gonna beat these girls up, and it was the stupidest thing ever, but we were young, so obviously I laugh at it now. 10 minutes later, she's like, I'm here. And we're like, oh shit. Like, I said, oh shit. I don't know if Melanie was scared, but I was a little bit scared. I ain't gonna lie, because I was like, oh hell no, they at my house. And I wasn't prepared for this. I thought it was gonna be all talk. And I go out, and it's me, Melanie, the girl that I supposedly commented on, her best friend, and then 2 other girls that we were familiar with because we went to school with them. And I'm like, why does she brought 2 other people? Like, are you kidding me? So I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay. I basically was like on top of the stairs, she was at the bottom, and I was like, what is wrong with you? So we basically started going off on each other. We were cursing at each other. We were like, oh, what is this? Like, you know, conversations before a fight. My mom and my dad were home that day, and I remember my dad going out like, what is happening? Like, are you serious or no? And then my mom comes out, and they were like, what is happening? And I basically told them, oh no, not even me. The girl who I had commented on, she finally spoke up at that point. She finally spoke up, and she talked to my mom in Spanish. And my mom was like, did you really do that? And I'm like, no, like, I don't even have Wi-Fi access. And that's when my mom was like, yeah, like, she pledged for me. She was like, we don't have Wi-Fi in the house right now. Like, she couldn't have done that. But I guess in their minds, they thought that I didn't need Wi-Fi, that I probably took one of my friend's phone and just did that because, I don't know, I just wanted to do that. So I'm like, no, I didn't do it. And so my mom started like, my daughter would never do that. Like, are you serious right now? And then the other girl, who wasn't even part of this, who had just tagged along with them, started screaming at my mother. So now let me pause real quick. I am very, very calm. Like, I consider myself a very calm person. But the moment somebody comes at my mother or my father, I blow up. So I was not having it when the other girl was screaming at my mother. So I got real close. I'm like, you better not be screaming to my mother, because I would really don't try me, because today will be the day. And so they were like, oh, they want to fight, we're gonna fight. And I was like, what is this? And my dad probably looked at me like, are you kidding me? Like, you brought these girls to like fight? And out of my head, I'm like, no, it was Melanie, but I kind of tagged along because, you know, a girl gotta hold her friend down. And then they ended up leaving. I mean, I was like, if you girls don't leave, I'm gonna call the cops. We go back. It was a Friday, and then the whole weekend happens. And then my dad was like, listen, like, be careful, you know, those girls look like they will really like do some dumb stuff. Just be careful, don't do anything stupid. And the whole weekend I had ended up getting like phone calls. I'm not saying if it was really them, because I wasn't sure, but it was like phone calls that they were laughing on the phone or whatever. And I was like, yeah, like, I didn't think anything was gonna come off the situation. Next day comes, and it's a Monday. Well, actually the whole weekend comes. So the weekend comes, and then it's Monday, and I go to school. And I just felt off that day. And I don't know if it was maybe my gut telling me like something was gonna happen, but I felt really like off, like something wasn't right. So I was just like, you know, I'm doing my thing. Like, I'm just walking around. Like, you know, I had classes or whatever. And the whole lunch period, I go into lunch, and I'm sitting with my boyfriend, my then boyfriend, and I'm with him, and I tell him the whole situation. Obviously he knows the situation, and he's telling me like, hey, like, don't fight, like, it's not worth it. I'm just like, I'm not gonna fight. Like, you know, why would I fight? Like, it's so stupid for me to be just fighting. Like, you know, it's a dumb situation. There's nothing to fight about. In my head I'm like, I'm not gonna fight, like, you know. But the whole lunch period, I've seen security guards just kind of like roaming around me, and I felt very like I felt all eyes on me. So I'm like, what is going on? I remember telling my friend Melanie, like, what is going on? Like, why are there so many like security guards this lunch period? She's like, I don't know. So I felt like a lot of eyes on me, and I was like, what is going on? And then everybody starts coming up to me like, hey, you know, those 2 girls are in the bathroom saying they're gonna fight. And in my head, I'm like, are you serious? Like, really? Like, we're still doing this? And I'm telling Melanie, like, they just told us that they're gonna fight. So we saw them like going into the bathroom, putting on sweatsuits and all of that. And me and Melanie were just like, what the hell? Like, we just tied up our hair just in case. And we were like, they were basically making like the biggest show ever, because everybody was looking at them going in and out of the bathroom, like changing their shoes, because I remember they had dressed really pretty that day. And they were just putting on their shoes, and I'm like, all right, like, what is wrong with these girls? But I'm like, okay. I was sitting down, and I was with my boyfriend at the time, and Melanie was at the end of the table that I was at. This is me and my boyfriend, and she's on the other side, like towards the end. And I'm just there chilling, we're talking, my boyfriend and I are talking, and I see the girl who was like kind of like talking for her friend, come up to Melanie and smack the shit out of her. And
I was like, oh my god, did you just see that?
And I was so like looking at Melanie like, oh shit, like what's going on, that I got up and I almost got to like the half of the table, and then I see security guards just like hovering me, like literally hovering me, like if I needed protection. But in my head, I'm like, nobody has hit me, nobody has come to me, like my friend needs the protection, not me. So I just see the whole crowd of people looking down on us, and I'm just there like, what the fuck, like what is going on? So I get backed up to kind of like the wall, and I see the security guard going like this, but like in front of me, so like I guess nobody touches me. And I'm like, what the hell, like literally no one is coming at me, like somebody needs to get my friend. Like I was more concerned about Melanie than I was about myself, because I was like, what the hell's going on? So I see somebody just going like this, security guard to me, and then I see the girl who I had apparently commented on go under the security guard. She's like this, and I see her just slick under, and I'm just like, what? And they were face to face, and she's like, oh, so you want to talk all that shit now? And I remember literally like just smiling, like I was laughing, like smirking, because I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, are you seriously doing this? Like I remember me and her were talking, and everybody was looking at us, everybody was looking at us. Oh, and while me and her are having this kind of like a talk back to each other, my friend Melanie is literally like slapping and punching, grabbing her, like she really messed the other girl up, like from what I saw. You know, from what I saw. So I'm like, oh shit, she got it, she good, she good. And people were trying to break them up. So I guess my security guard kind of forgot about me, because her fight got more intense than me. Obviously I wasn't fighting. And I'm like, are you seriously doing that? And she was like, yeah, because you want to talk shit, so let's do this. And I was like, I'm not fighting you. I literally remember saying, I was like, I'm not fighting you. Like it was never in me, and I never fought in my life. So obviously I was kind of scared. I'm like, I don't want to fight. Like what? I'm a very nice person, and I'm a girly girl. Like I don't want to fight. And she was like, well, you know, you're talking all that. And she was like convinced that I called her ugly and this and that. She said it again, and then she pushed me. I was like, okay, like, you know, she pushed me. Like it was just like a little push. So I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna let it slide. I was like, I'm not fighting you. Like it's not, I didn't call you ugly. Like it did nothing that happened. I have no Wi-Fi. Like basically explaining myself again. She pushes me again. I'm just like, oh my god, like you're so, like in my head I'm just like, really, like are you really doing this? So I'm just like, no, I'm not fighting you. She pushes me a third time, and that's when I lost my cool. So I pushed her back, because I was like, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. Like you pushed me 3 times, and now I'm gonna fight you back, because now you basically pushed my buttons to the point where I don't want to be pushed again. And the third time she pushed me kind of hard, so I guess that's what kind of made me like, no bitch, you're not. I remember I pushed her back, and from there on, I literally only remember people like crowds. And I see my best friend, who wasn't my best friend at the time, she was just a cool friend, she was kind of like a close friend to me, her looking at me, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm just kind of wanting to hit her back. I remember I grabbed her from her stomach, and like I didn't have nails at the time, but she did, so she like kind of ended up scratching my face. My glasses ended up flying out of nowhere. I didn't know where they went, and I'm trying to grab her hair, and we were both just in like a situation, and I'm trying like to like hurt her because she was hurting me. Like I don't know, it was just stupid. It was my first fight ever, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like I don't know what to do. And I'm not an aggressive person, guys. I'm really not. Like I'm not an aggressive person at all. So I'm trying to like whatever, and then they break us up, and I see my friend and the other girl broken up too, and they're trying to like fight each other again. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, are you kidding me? And obviously when you get out of a fight and there's blood, people are gonna be like, she fucked you up. So I got fucked up apparently. So I'm just like, what? Because she scratched my like near my nose, so there was blood obviously because she scratched me. And I remember just leaving, and then I just seen everybody. It was like, you know when you're in a movie and then like you're like the only center of attention, so you're just walking and everybody's looking at you. That's what it felt like. And I was like, this is the worst feeling ever. And then I remember we're walking, we leave the cafeteria, and the girl who I didn't fight, it was my other friend, it was my friend Melanie who fought. She was coming at my mother. She was like, I'm gonna get my mother to your mother up. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like I remember saying, I don't know, I should have never said this, but like I remember saying like, oh really, your mother ain't nothing but a, and I was like, she a ratchet ass. And I was like, she's nothing compared to my mother. Like don't even, like, you know, like I was just saying all types of stupidity. So I was like, you're dirty ass mother and touching my mother, hell no. And so that got her even more tense. She really wanted to come at me, but they had her down. And then they get sent me up to the dean's office, and I'm in the dean's office and I'm just like I was so over the situation. I'm like, are you serious? Like, this is what we have to do? Like, it was not even my fault. Like, while we're in here, I didn't even want to fight. So it's me, Melanie, and 2 other girls. So she was like, they did this and they did that. And I was just sitting there. Me and Melanie was just sitting there, like, listening to them talk. I don't know if Melanie was probably talking back or she was saying something, but I remember me just sitting there like, are you serious? Like, wow. Like, I was so over it. Like, I remember the dean, who I was kind of friends with at the moment, because I would always stop by her office, and every morning she looked at me, she's like, Jennifer, what is going on? And I was like, listen. And I was in the calmest way. I explained the situation. I was like, I didn't want to fight. They came up to me. They wanted to fight. You know, and I basically looked at her like, you know, I didn't want to fight. They took the 2 girls out of the room, so it was just me and Melanie. I remember, I don't know, it might be wrong, but I remember we were just sitting there and I explained it to her, and I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't want to fight. This is where I got kind of mad, because they ended up getting a less, because back then it was like, save room was like where people got like suspended, but not really, so they could like come to school but they didn't have to stay at home. It was like a suspension but in school, so we would stay in that room, we would have our classes, but we wouldn't be interacting with the other kids outside. So me and my friend Melanie ended up getting a week's worth of like safe room, and they only got like 2-3 days, and I got pissed. So she ended up telling us what happened. She called my parents, told them what had happened. They got into a fight. I come home and I was like, because I had a freaking little cut, and I'm like, I'm fine. And oh, the boyfriend, he ended up giving me my glasses, and he broke up with me. He literally ended up breaking up with me because I fought. But that's another story for another time. And I was in safe room. It was me and Melanie. We were just chilling there, and that's basically what happened. Like, we ended up doing the week's worth of safe room. We came back to lunch. They were still there. They were annoying. They were always annoying us, always annoying me. But then it was just kind of like, oh, whatever. They just stopped. I stopped. I didn't even acknowledge them after that whole situation happened. So I remember about a month or 2 after the whole fight, I had went out with my girls, and somebody, one of my close friends at the time, was like, yeah, I can't believe, what do we call this girl? Jade. She's like, I can't believe Jade did that to you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Jade didn't do anything to me. And she's like, oh, you don't know? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what are you trying to say? Like, no. She was like, oh, it was Jade why you ended up fighting. It was her fault. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, she didn't do anything. She had nothing to do in this whole situation at all. She was like, you really don't know. And I'm like, no. And she's like, it was Jade who left the comment on your profile. I'm like, no. I'm like, how would she do that? She doesn't have my password. And this is where everything locked in together. Back in those days when a bitch had a MySpace, I remember that like there'll be people who would like edit their layout so nice and so like cool and chic and nice. So people would be like, yo, give me your password and I'm gonna like do your layout. And obviously you would like change your password after that. She was one of those girls that did those kind of layouts. So I remember giving her my password. I'm like, yeah, bitch, do it all nice. And I never changed my password, guys. And the reason why this bitch takes the award for pettiness, let me tell you, because this bitch did this. I'm sorry, like, where me and her are really cool, but back then she was a bitch. This girl went to my MySpace, left a nasty comment on one of like the most popular girls, because she knew that the girl who she was leaving the comment for was best friends with like the girl that would be like mad ratchet and want to fight anybody that would like do something to her. She left a comment saying, you're an ugly. And she did it because apparently one day I called her out because she was being mean to my friend, because I had met her over one of my other best friends that I knew since like 3rd grade. So I called her and I'm like, don't be mean to her, because she was really, really mean to my friend at that moment. Like, she was just kind of like a bully to my friend. And so I remember standing up for my friend, so I guess she didn't like that. So she really sat there and left a comment because I said she needs to stop being a bully. And I remember sitting there getting my nails done like, are you serious? Like, that was her. I don't think I ever really went up to her like, you did this. I let it go and I forgave her. She knew what she did. I think she apologized to me. And then like after that, like 2-3 months after that, I remember I had the girl who had commented on her MySpace. I had her on AIM. I don't know how I ended up having her. I think I ended up having her. But she ended up hitting me up. And she's like, hey, can I, like, I don't remember it word for word. Obviously, I don't have the conversation anymore, but it was back in AIM days. And she said, hey, can I, like, talk to you for a second? I'm like, sure, go ahead. And she was like, hey, I just wanted to, like, say I'm sorry because I found out it wasn't even you who had ended up doing it. She found out who the girl was who did it. And she was like, it was so stupid. Like, I should never let her, like, her friend, she was talking about her friend, she should have never let her, my friend, like, let me, like, walk me into this, like, put me through this. It was not even worth it, you know. And I guess her and that friend weren't even friends anymore at that point. So she kind of just had like a moment of realization, like, it was really stupid. And so as she ended up apologizing to me, I apologized to her because obviously I said things too that I shouldn't have said back then because I was mad, and we kind of just left it as that. And then I kind of lost track of her. And then I recently found her on Instagram, and she's still very pretty, and she's, you know, she's doing her thing. I don't know, but I don't talk to her, obviously. So that was my first fight, guys. Yeah, I got fucked up. I was little, like, I don't know. It was my first fight, and I kind of just lived through it. But yes, guys, that was my first fight. Hope you guys enjoy this story time. Tell me what you guys want me to do in my videos. And sorry if I'm touching my hair too much. It's just, I don't know, it's so like silky today, but whatever. So yes, guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you for the subscribes, for the likes, and all of that. It really does mean so much to me. I love you guys so much, and until next time, bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I try to try.